Business, life, or health insurance. They're here to protect what matters to you most. You can check them out at royaloathinsurance.com or give them a call at 586 238 3535. And of course, today's episode is brought to you in part by our friends at Connection, the CRM built for closers. If you're a real estate agent, entrepreneur, or small business owner looking to automate, follow up, and close more deals and stay top of mind, then Connection is your secret weapon. Go to yourconnection.com and take control of your pipeline today. Now, whether you're tuning in live on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, or X, catching the replay on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, wherever you stream, we're glad you're here. Do me a favor, hit that like button, drop a comment, and share this with a friend, and make sure you're subscribed so you never miss an episode. All right, guys, let's get locked in. We've got a powerhouse show lined up today, and if you're in business or real estate or just building something big, this one is for you. Good morning, everybody. Welcome into the Elite Real Estate Podcast this morning on another fabulous Friday. And thanks again for joining us. And if you're, again, watching us now or listening to us later, I appreciate it. If you're watching us on YouTube, like and subscribe that button. So I am super excited because I've got guests that have come back. And when guests come back, I think I'm doing okay.
Excellent. Yes.
We love you.
Yeah. So Meaghan and Lori Murphy from Real Leverage Solutions. I'm going to throw that up here so you guys can check that out. But you guys have been on before.
We have.
And I'm super glad to get you back. It's a new year.
Yes.
So we want to dive into some of this stuff about what's happening, new things that are happening with social media and all those kind of things. But again, tell the audience about Real Leverage Solutions and what you guys do.
Yeah. So we help people tell the story of their business through social media. So service-based businesses, they need to be on socials. They need to be making videos. They need to be telling their story so they can connect with people and convert them into clients.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we try to get them to feel comfortable making videos and figuring out who their ideal clients are and who they can talk to. And so I think one of our superpowers, we call it, is just making people feel relaxed doing that.
Yeah. And you guys do a great job of that. Like I've been at events with you guys working the room and doing all your things. So you're the creeper camera.
I am.
B cam, shout out B cam.
B-roll, right? B-roll. Yeah. And but no, it's super important because that's one of the things I notice even with I do a lot of video stuff, but it's one of the things I notice that's when I miss a lot is B-roll stuff just because I don't have somebody doing the creepy video.
You don't have a B cam. Yeah. She's underappreciated.
Well,
Yes,
totally.
I really am.
Yes.
Yep.
Because it is so good because then it kind of just catches the natural part of being in the moment.
Yep. And then also when we do our reels, we always have a 2-camera setup, right? So we've got A cam, we've got B cam, and that way it also can be edited together so it's not so choppy, right? So people are like, do I have to memorize it? No, we're not expecting anyone to memorize anything, right? But now I have 2 different views to cut between. We can put some B-roll in there, right? And now we're making a more dynamic and interesting video as well.
Right. Yeah, because it is important. And again, it is. So there's cheater ways around this too with teleprompters.
Sure.
Yes.
Not that I would use those. Totally use it. But no, it is tough. Like again, and then you have those people that just sometimes freeze
Sure.
behind the camera.
Yeah.
Well, we have a couple of different people, and one thing we do is figure out their style, because some people are good. We give them some prompts, and they can just they know their business, they know what they're doing, and they're talking to an audience that doesn't know. So sometimes we just give them prompts that they can we call it riff and just go and talk about it.
I feel like Jimmy would be a good riffer.
Yeah, I think you would, because you know your stuff.
Yeah.
But other ones, they're just very afraid. So we give them line by line. And then with the 2 cameras and, with Meaghan's background in film, she knows how to work that so that, it looks seamless once it's, finished.
Yeah.
Edited. So.
Yeah. And that is a huge part of your background, right? Is film.
Yeah, a huge part of my background is film and reality TV.
Yeah.
So, yep, I worked in that world. So very familiar with, editing and pacing and all of that, which I think is huge too.
Yeah.
One thing people, a reel is just a very, very short little movie, right?
Right.
And our pacing is important and our editing is important. Our delivery is important. Needs to have, we have to do the hero's journey in 90 seconds, right?
And you need the hook in the first 3 seconds. Otherwise, there's swiping.
Yeah. And now we're doing 3 hooks, Jimmy. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. It's what you say, it's what you do, and it's the text on screen. Okay. So that's your first 3 seconds.
Yes.
All right. Because we've got to grab that attention.
Interesting. So is that change the algorithm type thing, or is that's just I just need your attention?
Well,
you're grabbing their attention, right?
Yeah.
But it's not enough now to just go, you won't believe what I saw in this house today, right? I also want you to walk into frame, or I want you to zoom into camera, or I want, and then also we want to put some text on screen. Jimmy's going to show you what he saw today, right? I mean, this is just what we have to do. Think of the news, right? We need the
Yeah.
scrolling at the bottom. We need the two, right? This is just to capture their attention and make them feel like it's worth their time to watch.
Yeah.
We've got 3 seconds to do it. And
Right.
how things are always changing on social media. So now layered hooks is something that is really, we want our clients to stand out. If they're real estate agents, there's a sea of real estate agents doing this. How do we make them stand out? Those layered hooks are, something that's really helping and working. So,
Oh yeah. And it is interesting because the other thing that I want to get into a little bit too, but like the AI stuff, has changed a little bit. With all these everybody's got some sort of AI thing. I don't know. It's like it's overdone, but that's kind of what we do in our industry though. Like we just kind of like shove everything into one pile. But for these hooks and everything, like, so what is the prime idea of, is it just we just need to grab that attention, right? I mean, that's,
Yeah, well, we need to grab that attention. We need to keep it, right? And one thing that I like to talk to my clients about, right, is the content people want to make never really aligns with the content they like to watch, right? So, people say, "Oh, well, we need to make a video about this," and I'm like, "Would you stop on that? Would you watch that?" Right? So they're on social media to be entertained, to be challenged, right? To be interested. So we need to be raising their, even if we're talking about EMD, right?
Right.
We need to get their interest. They need to know it, but we need them to know they need to know it, right? So when we're doing these hooks, when we're making this more interesting, we're feeding it to them in a friendly way, right? We're gonna make this easy to digest, right? It's gonna have shiny, and it's gonna, you can read it. A lot of people watch without sound, right? You can read it, you
Yeah.
can absorb it, you can, and we're going to just give it to you in a tiny little chunk, and then follow us, watch more, we'll give you more chunks.
Yeah.
We're not going to give you
say if
more
know
than you can
your
handle.
ideal client, then it's easier to make those hooks. And
Okay.
sometimes negative hooks are good because it makes them think, wait a minute, I don't want to be that person. So I need to, so you're just thinking of the psychology of your audience. What would they be? And usually your audience is similar to you. So what would make you stop?
Right. Your audience should be similar to you.
Yes.
Right. Because that's one of the things
Well,
that,
I should.
yeah,
Yes.
that's one of the things that I always talk to agents about, right? Is what you're projecting is what you're going to attract.
Mm-hmm.
So be cautious of what you're projecting.
Oh, absolutely. Well, so when we approach our social media strategy with our clients, we want to, I have 3 buckets that I want to put our content into. Okay. And those buckets are know you, like you, trust you. Right. Okay. So you have to get people to know you, first of all. If you don't have any followers, if you don't have any eyes on your content, then you're really just posting it for yourself, right?
Right.
So how do we get people to know us? That's where you're going to jump on those funny trends. That's where you're going to do maybe a 7-second B-roll with a hook and a trending audio, right? This needs to be stuff that's easy to watch for people who don't know you and don't care about you, right? I can watch a funny one you do, a short one, just a little bit of information and go, okay, I got something out of that, even though I don't know this guy, right?
Right.
They don't have to like you or trust you to be able to enjoy this. That's how we get the new eyes, right? Those are the things that get the biggest views. Those are how we reach the bigger audiences. That's how we grow our following. The second bucket is like you, right? Like you is where you start incorporating some personal stuff about yourself in here. Now you're saying, okay, thanks for coming. I'm going to tell you a little bit about who I am, right?
Right.
Now that's your personal stuff. Do you like to run marathons? Do you have, are you a football mom? Do you go to wineries every weekend, right? Your ideal client should be like you. So you have to tell them who you are so they can say, I connect with that, right?
Yeah.
I think the like you is also community focused, right? This is also local stuff. I live in your city. Here's where I go. Here's who I use. Here's who I talk to, right? You're building that trust. You're going, hey, I'm a resource for you. I've done this for you. Here you go. Here's the dentist you go to. Here's the coffee shop. Here's the store, right? And then your trust you. That's where your educational content comes in. And that's where your social proof comes in, right? That's where your, just listed, just sold. Here's the awards I won. Here's me backing up that I can do what I've been saying I can do. Right. And I think you need all 3 of those.
Yeah.
Giving you credibility. And, as real estate professionals, they we always tell them, let's find out who your ideal client is. We always, if they say we want to hire you, we give them a long questionnaire. It's so in depth, even talking about their competition. What are they doing? Because we need to find the ideal client so that this, what Megan's talking about, resonates with them, so that we are solving a problem they might not even been able to verbalize, but we're already talking about it. So
Right.
if we can do that, because what are we doing social media for? We're trying to get clients, right? So how do we do that? We have to go to social media with intention, not just, hey, yeah, I'm having fun making videos or
Right.
reels. That's not, and I think a lot of people approach it that way. Or they approach it like Megan said, well, I eat, live, and breathe real estate, so I'm going to go into EMD and just talk boringly about that. What if I have never bought a house before? I don't know what that is. So you've got to, like, bring it down to their level. Meet your ideal client once you know who that is, where they are,
Right.
and start slowly. So
Yeah. I mean, and it's a lot. I think something we were talking about this before we started, right? Is some people just need to just do it, right? Shoot the video,
Sure.
do the thing, whatever. But this is where it becomes everybody overthinks everything, right? Everybody overthinks like, I have to, it has to be perfect before I get it. But that's not what you guys are saying.
Well,
no.
we also talked about how, you said, oh, there's AI overload and there's, really, I think AI is super valuable. We use it, in our strategy and creating our content and all of that. But it's a tool, right? It's not the replacement for you. And I think the more that things do become really AI focused, really computer generated, I think the more people are craving authenticity, right?
Mhm.
They're craving the imperfect. They're craving, you know, well, do you just ever sit around in your sweatpants or is it all suit and tie? You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's like
Right.
where these 3 buckets come in, right? So maybe I trust you. Okay, Jimmy, it seems like you have a lot of accolades, a lot of awards, you're doing a lot of houses, but I don't really like you,
Right.
right?
Right.
So you want all 3 of those, right? Because that's what converts.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting because again, there is that false sense out there, right? Of I sold this or I did this but did you? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Sure,
is that really your listing or is that somebody else's listing?
Right.
sure.
Right. So there's always that. It's the imposter syndrome, right? We call
Mhm.
that. So or you don't feel like you measure up to that person because look at what they're doing. But are they really doing that or is that just this false narrative that they're putting out?
Well, it's funny. We have two kind of clients usually, right? So either people love to do this really fun, funny stuff. They get a lot of views. They have a good time, which is awesome. But then I sometimes kind of have to bring them back down to earth and go, okay, that was great, but now we need to show them you actually can close a loan and you can actually close, right? So
Right.
we're having fun with them, but also they do need some sense of legitimacy from you, right?
Yeah.
And then the other half is people who are very buttoned up, very professional. They don't want to let any personality leak through, right? And it's like, okay, they see that, you have the credibility, but I don't think they really like you, or maybe they feel like you're above their level or
Yeah.
you're untouchable, or you know what I mean? You're not relating to them at their level at all. So they're probably thinking, the last thing you want as a real estate agent is for someone to go, oh, she probably wouldn't sell a house for someone like me, right?
Yeah.
And you just said, like, people get caught up in all that and they don't start. And as we were talking about, we look back at where we started and we cringe a little bit, but we started, right? And we learned as we went. So that's kind of, I think, what you were touching on is like, start making that content, start investigating, start looking at other people that you enjoy watching, that are in your profession. What are they doing right? You can learn so much just by, if you look at social media intentionally instead of just I'm scrolling, having fun. That can help you. Don't completely copy them, but pull out things that could help you get
Yeah.
started on it.
That fit what you want to portray, right?
Yes,
Like what you want to project.
exactly.
I think one thing people don't realize is the freedom that you have on social media. I think people miss this a lot. And this is people, they're agonizing over every video and over every line and over, how
They
their
wore.
their ears are too big. Yeah, what
Yeah.
they wear, whatever. Social media is a playground if you really look at it the right way. So you can say, hey, this is the type of content I think I should be doing, or this is who I think my ideal audience is. And you can put out some content and you can look at your stats and they will tell you if you did the right thing or not. Now, if you didn't, you're like, hey, I don't really think I got people to know me, like me, or trust me. Great. next month do something different.
Right.
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 This is not, I mean, that people have moved on, you know? So you have the freedom to have fun with it. You have the freedom to test things out and go, this worked, this didn't. I'm going to do more of this. I'm going to do less of this. Right. But it's not, you don't have to think of it as this permanent thing, right? It's more, we're putting bricks, and what we're building is a high converting social media. But you don't have to worry about that brick on the bottom if it didn't work out so good, right?
Yeah.
We've covered it.
It's not you failed and you don't do it anymore. And we go over it with our clients. We go over their what's working, even, this is what we do every day, but what's working for you, what's not. And it opens their eyes to see, oh, maybe we need to change it up a little bit, or maybe you need to be more fun or not so rigid, and it's just, hey, we're just learning and getting better and better.
Right.
So that's how we approach our clients, and we sit down with them and look at what the views are and what's going on with your page and all that kind of stuff. And I always remind people, though, again, like I just said a minute ago, why we're there is to convert these followers into clients. So it doesn't matter if I have 1 million followers. I'm not, if I'm a real estate agent, I want to be a local expert. People that are in this area are coming to me when they think, Sterling Heights or Clinton Township or whatever, they think Jimmy, right? That's what we want, not someone in Japan that,
Right.
I went viral and they're looking. Going viral is great, but that's not who. We don't have to have 1 million followers. We have to have those certain followers.
You're not making money off of being on social media. You're
Right.
making money off of selling houses, right?
I think people forget that.
Yeah, they do. And I feel like the viral trend, right? Like I want to have the viral video. But like people that I know that have had stuff go viral, it was totally on accident.
Right.
It wasn't intentional to like go viral.
Right.
I put a video on TikTok of the DAC, right? The Detroit Athletic Club. So I'm not in it. It's just a video of walking in, and it kind of just cuts frames, and it's like over 35,000 views.
It's never the one you think.
I'm like,
ever.
Never the one you think.
I'm like, what?
It's never the one you worked really hard on. Ever.
No, I'm like, I didn't do anything, and I just threw it on TikTok one day, just like I was just going through videos. I'm like, oh, I'll put this one on there. There's some music to it. It kind of shot around the corners at the DAC, and it's over 35,000 views. And I was like, what? And then I'm racking my head trying to think, like, all right, how do
I capture the magic?
Yeah, like how can I do that again with a different one? And then I tried it, like, and then because you can get into this analytics, right, of the video. Where are the most, like, what time are the most people watching it? Like in time in the video.
Right.
Right. So I took the video at the time that people were watching it most, and then I added another one right at that moment. It didn't do anything.
Cool. But you tried it though.
Tried it,
right?
yeah.
You tried it. And it's like we say in real estate, right? Like the market dictates the price, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the social media will tell you
Same
if it's
thing,
good or
yeah.
not, and they'll tell you, right? But I like how you tested it out, right? Didn't hurt anything to do that video and have it not perform. Again, you're not making money off of being on TikTok, right?
Right.
You're making money off
Not
people who
yet.
see your TikToks. Well, cool, but that's a different strategy,
Yeah,
right?
right.
Our clients are service-based businesses, so they're typically in one location. They're in an area, right? And they need to be reaching those people. So when we look at our analytics, of course, we're looking at views, but that needs to work in hand with who's our audience. Is our top 7 cities a place where people could actually hire you? If they're not, then these views didn't do for us what we needed them to do.
Right. So so you guys at Real Leverage are the more like we're trying to pinpoint this service, right? So it's the local dog washer guy, it's the local realtor that's in that very specific tri-county area or whatever, right?
Yep, exactly.
And it's interesting because this is the game has changed. And I do get checks from Meta every month.
Oh, good.
Nice.
Last month it was $13.
Okay.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, the month before that was like $6.
Okay. Hey,
So it's getting better.
every little bit helps, Jimmy.
Yeah, I'm like, man, these. And if I remember the first time I got a check from Meta, and I was like, they hit you up and they like, where do we want to deposit this? And I was like, is this real?
Yeah.
Like, is this?
It seems so.
Yeah, like somebody's not gonna send me money, like
Right.
for my Facebook stuff.
Right.
No, they did. Yeah.
Right.
Awesome.
Yeah, and they just pay through PayPal. So I was like, well, good. It just keeps going in there every month, and I'm like, whatever. It's $13.
It seems so random.
Yeah, it's $13 or $6 or $8 or $9. I don't even know how it comes up with the payment process or whatever.
It's like some kind of KW profit share.
Yeah.
Impossible.
Yeah, it just
equation.
shows up. Yeah, it just shows up. But so what is and we talked about AI a little bit. So what part of AI are you guys utilizing with people you're servicing now?
Well, Megan always laughs because I always call mine chat
Or
because
in
I use
chat GPT or
GPT is one of the things
Yeah.
I use.
yeah.
Me too.
And yeah, we're tight. I mean, we'll get in arguments,
Yeah.
but just, creating content, I can make prompts for each individual client. I can go in there and personalize it for them and say, this is their personality. I can, these are their hobbies, all that kind of stuff, so that it's just much easier. We have a lot of clients, so it's much easier for when I'm trying to create new content, because again, I'm usually the one that's writing scripts for them. And
Okay.
I don't want to be the same old scripts every single time a real
Bland.
estate gets on there. It's got to be thinking outside the box, because that's all been done already. January is the greatest time to buy because of this or whatever. I'm trying to really look. I take that questionnaire that we've given them, we get in depth, we find their ideal client after Megan meets with them for 45 minutes in the very beginning. And then all that information I plug in there. And then I've got prompts for each individual client, but I'm also manipulating that to say, hey, I want something outside the box, something that's not a usual question, something that's not been done a million times.
I want 3 layered hooks.
I want 3
Yeah.
layered hooks. We
SEO.
got into that, but also calls to action. What are the reasons I want these calls to action? Do I want to grow their page? Do I want them to comment something and, get their contact information? I think people always want to say, call me. And Megan and I were talking about that, like at the end, like for a CTA, and for people to get off that social media to give you a call. That's a big step, especially, for younger
People don't like talking on the phone.
People don't like talking on the phone. So creating 3 layered hooks, creating, that storyline. What is it that is going to resonate? And then creating that call to action. Because we always say, if you don't tell, after all that effort you put in, if you don't tell them what to do afterwards. So just bringing that all together and using AI to help me do that. So I'm pretty creative, but sometimes when you're doing that for a lot of people, you need some help.
Yeah, and the crazy part about AI, and one of the things that I have really like leaned into with it, is telling it what I want, who I want it to be. Right.
Yes.
So I'm telling chat who I want it to
Yes.
be, and then you're going to tell me what to do based on who you are.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And Justin Barton, you were on that call. He had a great little thing he put together about going deeper into your AI prompts, right? Like what's your tone? What's the age range of your ideal client? What's your he just had all these prompts where he's like, I want you giving it this much instruction.
Yeah.
And I think Lori does a great job. Lori will be like, don't tell me what you want to hear. Say it like you're my enemy, right? Like,
because they want AI is like programmed to please you unless you go in and personalize it, change it. You can change the tone of how he talks to you too, and say,
yes,
mine's a boy.
Mine's a woman for sure.
Because she doesn't want to make.
Mine's so supportive. It's like, Megan, great idea.
Makes you feel good. It makes you warm inside.
But I don't want that all the time. Like I had
hers is a little mean.
Or Gen Xers. That's right.
The other day, and I said, don't just tell me that because you think I want to hear that. I need you to really, like, you're my, boss, really getting mad at me and telling me this is not right. And so, then it comes back and goes, no, I am trying to be stern with you.
Right. Right.
But it's just funny.
Yeah. No, it's true. And you
can,
like, really. I have a prompt that, it was be brutally honest with me.
Yes.
Yeah.
And when you tell it that, oh boy, it is brutally honest.
You
with
get a different,
yeah.
Like, wait, not that brutal.
Caution people that I gave that prompt to. I'm like, be careful with this because it's not going to be nice when it comes out. Like,
So, like, you look terrible today. I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah, and I went in there and said, be brutally honest about my business. And one of the other tricks that I learned along the way too is talking to it instead of typing.
Yes.
Right. So if I hit the dictate my little microphone thing, so I have the dictate thing and I'll talk to it. Like I'll say, give me 15 questions about my business and how can we fix it, blah, blah, blah. So it gives me the 15 questions, but then I answer the questions verbally because we also talk different than we type.
So true.
Right.
Yeah,
and it's going to get the honest then feedback from me, right?
Yeah.
The emotion is going to be there of how I'm feeling about this. And then, but when you tell it to be brutally honest and you do that, like it literally spit back to me like, you don't have a business, you have a side hustle. Like I was like, wow, that was,
Like sassy.
yeah. I was like, geez, take it easy, man. Like,
Maybe not like the semi brutally
yeah,
honest.
like take it a little bit easier on me. I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't need to hear that all that harsh truth, right?
But
Right.
I think people do when they start using it, they just throw in a couple things and then take it word for word. And it's really
Yeah,
when I'm doing scripts for people or whatever it may be, I'm manipulating that over and over again. And I'm saying that is not the tone.
right.
I want it in my tone because now it knows me. Again, the more you use it, the more it knows you. And plus, I've gone in there and personalized some things. This is the tone I want. And I can do that for each client. But I sometimes, things come out. I'm like, that doesn't sound anything of what I would say.
Right.
So we need to, so it's still, you have to work with it.
Yeah. And you do have to refine it. And then the more you do work with it, the better it gets, right? It starts to learn your tendencies and what you're looking for. And then you have to really be careful because then sometimes like I've been doing it a lot and then it'll spit me something. I'm like,
That's so raw.
Where
That's
did that
so
come
random.
from? Yeah.
So
Like,
I feel like sometimes it does like a reset. I'm like, what are you talking about?
yeah. I'm like, you're crazy right now. Like, I don't.
You have to check that it's accurate.
Sure.
Because I've had where, we're doing some stats and I'm like, where did those come from?
Yeah.
That is not,
Yeah.
So yeah, just being careful that it's doing its research and you're sending it out to the right research area, and
Yeah.
Well, Lori says, in her class, she goes, AI is your assistant. So if you hired an assistant, but you didn't teach them how to do anything,
right.
would that be good? If you didn't check their work, would you feel,
oh my God, that
like
is
they
so
did a good
spot
job?
on. Yeah.
I mean, like, people do get thrown in jobs and you're going, you don't know what you're doing. Well, I never trained you.
Right.
It's the same thing. You have to train. This as an assistant.
Right. And that's so Glenn Sanford, who built EXP, he's I'm on Glenn's radio right now, but Glenn's super nerdy, right? Like that's but he's got so far down this AI path for the last couple of years that he's actually building out like his AI twin.
Okay.
So he's actually got like,
he's cloning himself.
Yeah, he is. And it's working. I mean, it's crazy to think that's possible.
Sure.
But he also spends like 2 to 3 hours a day with his AI like twin, like trying to make sure it's all correct, right?
Yeah.
It's all him. And that's the other thing people think, well, because here's the thing, and it goes back to what I was talking about before we started, and what my webinar yesterday was like the emotional intelligence combined with the artificial intelligence. And at the emotional intelligence, we have to talk about like the be, do, have, right? Like we have to be who we want to be first, do those things repeatedly, and then we get to have the results at the end. The problem is we try to skip to the have. We try to skip over all the be, do stuff. And so, but where AI now is making it even faster, just try to skip to the have.
Sure.
Right? Like you see all these people on social media is going, oh, you can sell these this content stuff, these digital products, and I make $10,000 a month selling digital products. It's like, well, then why are you doing videos
about selling digital? Do you make the money
product?
from the digital products or from the training on how to do the digital product? Yeah, 100%.
So but we all want fast money. We all want it to be,
the easy button.
Yeah. But I had a guy tell me a long time ago, an older guy, and he said, good, fast, and cheap. You can only pick two.
You can only pick two. Yes, I've heard that many times. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so what's on your guys' agenda for 2026? What's new for Real Leverage Solutions?
Yeah. So, I think we definitely, we want to work on the idea of having a community, right?
Yeah.
We've built a community on Facebook, we've built a local community, right? But now I want to just get this out to more people, show them the type of content that they could be making, right?
Yeah.
We can't obviously, it can't be done for you for everyone. But we can arm more people with the tools to be able to create this kind of content. And because what we focus on is so personalized, right? It's easy for us to be able to teach this, right? It's not an easy button. That's the thing, right? But it is getting to know your ideal client. And then it's the hardest challenge of all, being yourself, right?
Yeah.
So I think we want to do more of that. I think we want to do more teaching, right? I think we just want to get in front of bigger and bigger audiences and just talk about what's working with us.
Yeah. And I love teaching, and that's why we want to build that community. you love teaching,
Yep.
so you know what it's like.
Yeah.
And just share your knowledge. And we are so personalized. We're not just that one size fits all. We hear that over and over again from our clients, how much we put into it, how much they're being recognized and getting clients because it's so personalized and we really get to know who they are. So we want to teach that so they can do some of it for themselves because again, we can't be everywhere. So that's a big thing we're going to work on this year. And just also teaching people that as far as social media, how to really use it correctly. And, I think one thing we were talking about on the way here is, people thinking, okay, I put out some content, I'm good. But if you're getting out in the community and you're socializing, you should be building a community online as well. So that's another big thing that we're trying to teach people. How do you take it to the next step? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you should be interacting with other accounts. You should be messaging people that are following you, those type of things. That's going to take you to the next step. So you got the courage to make some social media. You're learning what works, what doesn't. Now, how do I keep building that and using that algorithm and using, people that I admire or they're in my community or whatever through building a community online. So we were talking about that on the way over here.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
so true. You go to a networking event, you get all dressed up, you talk to people, you get their business card, you send them a note, you follow up, right? On social media, people just put their stuff out there and go, I'm
Yeah.
never going near it again, right? And you've just created an online community with so many more people, right? And you need to be working those connections,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, that's money you're leaving on the table.
Yeah. That's one of the things. I mean, Go, right? That's what she's a pro at.
Pro.
Is that follow up, the touch base, I'm going to stay in front of everybody. And not only am I just putting content out, but I'm also following up with that content, right? Now I'm touching
Right.
base with people, build out a community, all those things.
Right.
And so that's where the pros really level up, right? Like
Well, I
that's
think GoGo, every post has a purpose for her, right?
Yeah.
And again, whether you're going to follow me, whether you're going to join my community, whether you're going to join my downline, right? But she's putting those out with intention, and then she's making sure that intention came across,
Yeah.
right? And I think that's a piece so many people miss, right? People go, "Oh, I got such a nice comment on my post. I feel so good. I'm so happy." And I go, "Oh, how many of you commented on today?"
Right.
"Oh, none." Okay, well, why don't you give some warm and fuzzies out there, right? Because this is the reciprocity is what's going to help you build, and that's
Right.
what's going to tighten that connection. That's what's going to get people to know you, like you, trust you.
And people don't realize too, like the more you comment on other people's stuff or share other people's stuff, your algorithm changes.
Rewards you, yes,
And then you're in front of
yes,
more people.
yes.
Yeah. Or just like people following you, show them some appreciation or communicate with them and message them and say, are you following me because you like my videos? Are you following me because you need my service? And get them to kind of engage with you. So that what's the reason they're following you? Could that be a potential client? It's not about followers. It's about conversion, right?
Right. Right.
So,
No, 100%. And I think, we can put it out there now, but we've been talking about doing an event together,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
probably in April,
yeah,
right? We've got some things we need to hammer out, but
yeah.
I think April we're going to put a big event on.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be,
We got a lot to talk about.
we do got a lot
Yeah.
to talk about, but I
Yeah.
think it's going to
we're
be,
excited.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm very excited. I mean, anytime I get to do an event and get in front of people, that's my,
Mhm.
Well, I love that too.
yeah, it's like, let's just get in front of people and that like,
I don't love it, but I'll be there.
that's why you're the main camera,
Yeah.
right?
Right. I'll be behind
I'm
the
the
camera.
creeper.
Yeah, yeah.
She's a people person.
Yeah, she's the social butterfly that's in all the things,
Yep.
and you're the one trying to direct everybody.
Yep. Exactly.
We know what our strengths are, Jimmy.
Absolutely. But again, that's super important.
Mhm.
And I think that's one of the things that you guys probably bring to agents and businesses is getting them to understand what they're good at.
Mhm.
Because a lot of times we don't know, right? Like I think I'm good at this, but then when I go to professionals like you guys, you're like, maybe we should do this, right? Like
right.
maybe we should do that.
And sometimes just workshopping it with someone,
Yeah.
right? Again, I know we said this last time, right? But typically I go, who's your ideal client? And they tell me, and then I read their questionnaire and I go, that's not your ideal client, right?
Right.
But we had to dig deeper. We had, and you can use AI for that as well, right?
Yeah.
You got to dig deeper and go, okay, is this who I think I am, or is this who I am, right?
Right. Yeah, and you can, that's the beauty of of knowing what to put into AI, right?
Mhm.
Like that's the key is
Sure.
knowing what do I need to put into it, because it garbage in, garbage out. If
Mhm.
I'm just putting in
Exactly.
garbage,
Generic.
it's just write a listing for me, or a listing.
Right.
Yeah, great, it does that. It does that. You can put an address in, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And then now it's funny, like my chat almost scolds me, and it says,
He's really getting down.
it says, well, I need to know the address. I need to know how many bedrooms. I need to,
Good.
Get it together,
Yeah,
Jay.
like get
Yeah.
your crap together and let's give me the more information.
Did you have
I'll
to
help
get
you
him
write
up
it.
to that, or
I
you had
did.
to get it up?
Yeah.
Do you have to say, please write it with 0 M dashes?
No, what's that?
Okay, so AI. So does it write your things with a lot of M dashes, like the long dash?
It doesn't.
Okay, well, a telltale sign that you're using ChatGPT in your captions is that it has a ton of M dashes in it.
Interesting.
So now everybody's going, write it with no M dashes because they don't want to be called out for using, I mean, it's a
Right.
whole thing, right? It's a whole thing.
Interesting. No, mine hasn't done that, but I don't know why. I don't know like specifically why.
Yeah, I think you've,
But maybe I've beat it over the head enough that
Exactly.
it like just doesn't do that.
yeah.
But it's super important about, again, what you're putting into it.
Mhm.
And being cautious. So it was the high school at De La Salle had me come in and talk to their kids about AI. They have a one of the classes that they're teaching. They had me come in and talk to the kids about how to use it correctly.
Yeah.
And the first question I asked was like, all right, so I asked some of the kids. I'm like, how do you use AI? He goes, it does all my homework for me. I'm like, oh my God.
You're like, I'm out.
Yeah. No, I had to go. I go, listen, probably not the answer you should have given me in front of the teacher.
Right. Right.
He's like, I'm just being honest.
Yeah, if you want to talk to me about that later, talk to me about that later, but not with your teacher sitting right here, right? That's not the good. That's not
Yeah.
the best
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
I always wonder about that in school.
So it's a big problem.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure.
And teachers are struggling with it very bad. And so a friend of mine is the technology teacher at De La Salle. So he has to go through and he's finding out all these programs now that will read papers basically. And
He's
tell
looking for
you
those
if
M
it's
dashes.
AI. Yeah.
Yep.
But then the other thing that we're finding is it's the verbiage that the kids are using is way out of their league.
Right.
It's like way out of their league. And when you sit a kid down and say, all right, what's this word mean? They don't have a clue, right? They don't have a clue. And then spell it for me.
Yeah.
Well, they can't spell it either, right?
Right.
So, but it's the technology is great, but again, it's how to use it, and people assume AI, because I do AI videos, right? We've all seen the Sora app and but that is AI, but that's not AI, right? That's just kind of fun stuff with videos.
Right.
But when you actually get into the AI piece of everything, it's super important for everybody's business. And like you said, you guys are using it a ton.
Right. But it's a tool. It's not a replacement for your brain, right?
Right.
Plus,
right.
Like anything, even when the internet came out, people can use it the wrong way, or it's good and it's bad, and but people are always like, well, I'm afraid of it. But we say, you know what? If you aren't using it, you're losing out to businesses that are, because it is a great tool. You just have to use it the right way, and it's going to keep evolving, and you have to keep evolving and learning about it. So
it's another tool in your tool belt.
Our mentor, when we first started in real estate at Keller Williams, she goes, I've been in this so long. I remember when they invented the MLS online, and people go, well, if I'm not using the book, I'm out, right?
Yeah.
You have to adapt because it's the train's rolling.
Yeah. And it is so true. You can say, oh, I don't want to use the internet. Well, you don't have to.
Right. You don't have to work at real estate either. Yeah.
Yeah.
But people say that so often about social media. I don't like social media. I have been just fine all along without it. Right. Well, we were fine without cars until we had them. Right. We were fine without cell phones until we had them.
Yeah. And what people miss out about the social media thing, and again, we're in a really strange climate politically and all those things. It's gone so crazy on social media. But if you went and searched through all my social media, you would not know who I voted for.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
yes, this is a good point to bring up.
You would not know who I voted for.
Nor I.
Yeah.
Nor I.
I mean, you might be able to figure it out, but you shouldn't. Yeah. I mean, if you're going to dig deep,
you're
going to
working
have to work
right,
out and figure out who I voted for. So I leave all of that off. I
Yeah.
don't even. It's my family, it's my kids, it's my dog, which I get way more interaction from my kids and my dog than I do
Anything
business,
else,
anything
right?
else,
Right.
right? The
But that's
dog
the like
works.
you content, right?
Yes, exactly. And
Right.
that's where you start to find that that's the people I want to work with.
Right.
Right. That's
You
your
know,
They have
ideal
kids. They
client.
like dogs.
exactly.
That's your people.
Yeah.
Probably have the same problems you do that you could solve, you could talk to them,
Yep.
so they get to know you like
I
you
was
trust
where
them.
you were 5 years ago.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's get you to where I am.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think that's one of the things that people miss when they're trying to do this social media stuff is they miss out on, they want to do what this person's doing.
Right.
Right.
And to what you said earlier, is that even who you are?
Right.
Right.
Like, is that
Right.
even really what you wanted?
Right.
to?
Well, so often people go, "What should I wear?" And I
Yes,
go,
that's
"What do
what
you
I said.
normally wear?"
Yeah.
Right? Because the person you are on social media should be the person they meet to have the listing
gonna
appointment
say, you
with,
always say
right?
that.
Yeah. People always go, they're basically like, "How should I act?" And I'm like, "You should be the person that they're going to meet.
Yeah.
That's who you should be. If you're a jeans and t-shirt, be a jeans and t-shirt,
Yeah.
right? We're not changing your entire personality on social media.
Right.
But again, I think people do think of it as a separate entity. There's my social media, it's my social media persona. But then this is my real life. Well, no, we need to be merging those two things if we're using social media for business.
Yeah. Because you're going to attract what you're putting out there.
Right.
Right. So I've said this before too. I'm not a 3-piece suit guy.
Right.
Right. So, but if I were to wear a 3-piece suit in all my videos, people would assume that when I showed up, that's what I should be wearing. And when I show up in a hoodie, it's
They
like,
go, who
is this?
that's not who I called.
And the relaxed guy might not hire you because
He's
he's like, oh, he's a little uptight.
a suit and
Right.
tie guy.
Consider where your guy would be more relaxed in a hoodie, and that's who you could really resonate with.
Yep.
So that's who you want to be talking to.
And I've got a client that, he's the $1 million client, right? And if I were to show up in a suit, he'd be like, what are you wearing?
Yeah.
Because he's a quarter zip hoodie, it's
Right.
always what
Yeah.
he has. It's golf
Doesn't mean
stuff,
he
right?
doesn't have a lot of money. Just
No.
that's what he likes to
Yeah, this is way more comfortable.
You make a lot of money to be able to wear what you want, right?
Yeah. This is way more comfortable wearing a suit.
Yes,
You know what I mean?
absolutely.
Now did have a jacket on yesterday though, so
Oh,
but I will throw the hoodie on under the jacket. So
Just so they know.
Yeah, just
right.
so,
Just so
Still
they
it
know.
evens the
Still
playing
me.
field. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
don't get too excited.
I got to get dressed up. It's going to be a sport coat, but the hoodie's going to be under the sport
Yes.
coat.
Versatility.
Yeah, and tennis shoes always.
Always.
yeah.
Oh man. So if you would have got a new client today, what would be your first thing you'd do with them?
So they're gonna talk to Lori first. Okay. She's
Okay.
gonna
'Cause
give
you
them the
know
lay
I'm
of the
that
land.
people person.
She's
Yes.
the people person, right? All right. You gotta pass through the gauntlet to get to me, okay?
Right.
Because I'm really
She's the creative genius.
I'm working on protecting my time this year. That's one thing I'm
I
really,
like
really
that.
trying. I'm
Yes.
working on protecting my time.
How's that working? I mean, no, it's early,
Yeah.
but how's that working out so far?
It's working. I'm saying no a lot more. I'm really getting familiar with the
No is your
concept of
friend.
I'm not doing that, or that
When
so
you first start in business,
Yep.
You pay your dues and you say yes to
Everything.
And now I think that we've established ourselves. Our clients are saying good things about us. We're growing. That we can say now we don't want to lose that great service, and we have to say no. And so Meaghan is the one behind the scenes, creating everything, keeping our team going. So I'm the front man, and that's who they meet first to decide whether we can help them.
A good
'Cause again,
fit for
it's
each
about
other.
helping
Yeah.
them,
Yeah.
right? Can we make your business grow through what we do? Once I decide yes, then we send them an onboarding email with that questionnaire that I talk about, that in-depth questionnaire. And that really covers everything. And Meaghan's created it where, what's your brand voice? What's your ideal client? And that's where they're going to put all this down. And then we give them a link to click and they get a call with Meaghan. So
Okay.
they book a call. That's where she breaks that down and goes, is that really your ideal client? Maybe it is. And she gets in depth, and you can talk about that more.
Yeah, well, that's where you got to talk to them, right? Again,
Yeah.
we can have AI, but we have to talk to people, even me, right?
Yeah.
So, that's where we're talking to them and going, okay, where'd your last 5 deals come from? Who's your favorite client that you've ever worked with? What do you like to do, right? And then when we get down to the nitty gritty, we might look back at the questionnaire and go, okay, so, you said you love to work with, first time home buyers, but your last 5 have been luxury, or, vice versa. A lot of times people go, oh, I want to be luxury. And it's like,
Yeah.
okay, but you're not luxury,
Right.
right? And, and like, as you would say, if you are like, that's a mindset shift you have to make first, right?
Yes.
You know what I mean? But our social media needs to reflect what we're doing, what we're good at, who we are, so that we can find those people. And that's where we go. That's where we're going to talk about that, right? And then we're going to use this information. So, you and me are going to decide, okay, right, we agree. This is the type of client I like to work with. These are the type of houses I sell. This is what I like to do. I like to go to events. I don't like to cold call, right? We're going to get all that going. And then Lori's going to use that to write some scripts so we can get together and start filming some content. Then we're really going to get to know you even more, right? Because again, some people see a script and they go, just let me talk about what I know, right?
Right.
But again, you need to talk about what you know in 60 seconds, right? Like we gotta work
Not
together
6
on that.
minutes.
Right, exactly, right. So that's when we work together to do our filming. But that first session is where we always get to know each other and say, okay, got it. You're a riffer, you know what you're talking about. Now I'm gonna help you put a hook at the beginning of that, a CTA at the end, and chunk it down, right? And again, also, we don't want to talk over people's heads. I know you're the expert, right? But we don't want people to go,
Right.
I don't even know if this is for me. I don't
Right.
know if this is for me, right?
I don't know what you're talking about right now.
Right.
Yeah. So
Exactly.
we like to teach classes. We want to more this year to educate people. And then, we keep refining our business. So we've taken it to where we can create content for you and do some other things, or a package where we even interact with you. We do everything. So you're just out selling and we're actually managing every aspect of your social media.
Okay.
So there's a couple different levels that we've taken it to now, because we have some people that want to be somewhat involved and some people go, I don't want to interact.
I don't want to think about it.
I don't want to do any of that. We'll take that and so you don't have to worry about any of it.
Okay.
So,
But you do have to show up and make videos.
You do have to do that
to.
part.
And you have to
Yeah.
send me
You're the face
pictures of your
business,
kids, and
right?
you have to, the thing is, you do have to be involved in it, right?
Yeah.
I can't pretend to be Jimmy if I don't,
And we
give
can't
you
just
nothing.
AI everybody into those videos. Well, you can, but
No, we're
yeah.
not. No. I'm saying the more authentic, the better. I do think
Yes.
people really crave authenticity.
Yeah.
They like it when you stumble on a word. They like it, when you include the funny part at the end. People like that. Because they're
Our
missing
bloopers
that
do
now.
the
They're
best.
craving
Yeah.
it, right?
Well, because there's this, again, it goes back to that imposter syndrome, and there's this false thing of I have to be perfect,
Mm-hmm.
right? I have to be perfect to do this.
The
Whatever
person
it is.
who's perfect, like you're like, oh, I don't really like that.
No,
person,
you want them to
right?
screw something up, right?
Yeah.
Because then it becomes more human because they screwed something up.
Right.
But you're
They're
thinking,
not a
"Oh, God,
robot."
I screwed up something." Now, when you see someone else do it, you go, "Oh, I don't feel so bad."
Right. They're
Yeah,
not,
They can-
because they're
they
not a
can
robot.
laugh. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
People love to laugh with you, at you. If you can laugh at
Yes.
yourself, that's ideal.
The best videos are like people tripping and falling
Sure.
or slipping on ice. Those
Well,
are
I
the
said
best
Our
videos.
bloopers that we
Yeah.
do really well.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
So-
people love a blooper. Really.
Yeah.
So we do a lot of those just because it makes them human and people can laugh.
For sure.
So we had this one client, and she sold. She's got this big condo complex, right? She sold them all. She goes, I want. She is gorgeous. She's put together, right? And she goes, okay, I sold these condos. I want to do a whole big thing. So we've got her standing in the middle of the street, right, with the condos on both sides. And we were like, okay, so Lori is going to pop the confetti gun at the same time you're going to do the champagne, right? And it's going to be like a celebration. Okay.
I'm popping.
I mean,
way
it
too
was
early.
it was comical. Like, she popped it way too early. The girl was too afraid to pop the champagne. So she was, you know what I mean? Like, so we did it like 3 times, and finally I go, this is great. We have 3 screw ups. It's so funny.
Yeah.
It's so much more
That's just one
authentic.
example.
Right. So we posted it, right? We were like, well, everything went perfect except the celebration. Right.
Yeah.
But what we had more fun anyways. And people just loved it. It was hilarious. It was very authentic.
Right.
Because
it is authentic then, right? It's not, that I don't never want. And then because I don't want to hang out with that person.
And then you
ever,
go,
'cause-
that's so funny. They had all this stuff together, and
Yeah.
and it's cuter, it's better, right? And because she is, again, I either have people who I go, okay, you need to get a little more serious,
Right.
or you need to get a little more vulnerable.
And it's natural.
Mhm.
When it's natural. So that's one of the things I really like about this, right? Like that's one of the things I like about this show, right?
Yeah.
Is I try to, I didn't send you guys anything ahead of time
No.
of what we're doing or what we're talking about either time you've been on.
No,
And I've had people come on and they're like, are you sending me questions before?
no.
And I said, no, I'm not sending you anything before we do this.
That freak a few people.
Some people are like, oh, Tara Chody's one. She's fun because she comes in with notes.
Yeah.
She comes in with
I
notes.
had notes. I left them.
And she comes in there and she's like, "Well, you don't have notes?" I'm like, "No, I don't ever. I very rarely have notes, right?
Yeah.
Like I very rarely have notes. If I have notes over here, I'm doing something typically by myself,
Right.
right? I'm shooting some content by myself. If I have notes out, and if I do that, if I'm being real bad, then I just do it on the computer, so
Right.
it looks like I'm on the computer. Pro tip for everybody that's trying to do some of these things, right? Like put it on the computer, pretend you're on the computer, but all your words are right there.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep.
But you're good at you make it easy to have a conversation, and not everybody can do that too. So
Yeah, and it's also it's you guys are great guests because you are conversational too,
Yeah.
right?
Very. Yeah.
I've done a few of these where I'm like, I'm trying to pull everything. I'm like, I can't talk the whole time.
Yeah.
I mean, I can,
Right.
but that's not why
That's not
anybody's.
what- right.
It's not
I
why
had to come
anybody's
all the way
doing
out
this.
here. Yeah. Yeah.
That's not why anybody's doing this. Yeah, that's not why anybody's doing this. So if I were to come today, then Lori would be the first one I'd get to. Then what happens when I get to you? I get this in-depth
Right. We're going
interview,
deep dive, right?
Yeah.
I want you to fill out the questionnaire ahead of time. That's a nice gauntlet for me, right? If you don't fill out the questionnaire, right, you ain't making the videos, right?
Right.
So I want you to fill that out. Me and you are going to talk. We're going to go, okay, yeah, this is what we decided, who you are, who your ideal client is. And again, that may change, that may evolve. This is what we got right now. Okay. So I'm going to start to put together a strategy. Okay. Your ideal client and your past 5 deals are first time home buyers. Okay. We need to really break this down. Our educational really needs to break this down. Okay. Your ideal client is Livingston County and you live in Brighton and you spend all your time in Howell. Okay. This is where we need to get local. Oh, your kids are in football. You're a Catholic Central mom, right? Okay. This is who you hang out with. This is what they're
I know who you're
interested
talking
in,
about right
right?
now.
yeah.
Shout out to Jenny Anderson.
Jen
She already texted me. She said, "Oh, I know you're going to be on the show. We love her, right?"
She's listening right now. I can see her over here on the
That's a
breakfast
big
club
part
line.
of her world, right? So
Yeah.
why would we separate that from your social media when your ideal client pool is right here going, we're also thinking about Catholic Central football, right?
Yeah.
We want to incorporate that in there, right? And then we want to do funny and we want to do trending. Those are not a waste of time. That's how you get those new eyes.
Yeah.
I'm not going to watch you talking about how to be a first-time homebuyer. I don't know you, right? But once you have reeled me in, I know you. I like this guy. Let me see what he has to say, right?
Yeah.
I can absorb that. He's delivering it to me in the way I want to hear it, right? Because he took the time to get to know who I am.
Right.
So, we're gonna make some content. We're gonna get a filming session. That's gonna be the hardest one you do, right? And then once you see how they turn out, you're gonna be happy, and we're gonna have a great time for the rest of our lives.
Yeah.
Like we have a new client today, and she's a little nervous, and
She's gonna love it.
One's always a little nervous, and then after that, but we.
You want me to show up?
Huh?
You want me to show up?
Yeah,
Sure.
bring the mics too.
You gonna drive all the way out
Bring the
there?
podcast. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we'll pack it up. We'll be on the road today.
Yeah.
Awesome. Absolutely. She probably would be.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But so that if they do it, depending on what membership they want with us, but they we do Reels for Deals twice
Yep.
a month. We go to different businesses and we shoot. We'll do 2 reels with each client. So now we're very busy. So it's 20 minutes per slot.
Okay.
And what we do is we show that we're supporting our community, supporting businesses, and we go to different ones. And then so they get to come to those, and they also get an hour and a half of their private shoot anywhere, like if they have a listing, if they want to do it at a local business. Right
Your
now, one of
office.
our new client is meeting in Howell at a local business. So
Okay.
she likes that. That's a friend of hers, and that's what we're going to do. So they get that, and then we post for them 5 days a week, whether it's a static post or reels. But we do promote reels because that's how they get to know you, like you
Yep.
guys do. So
Sure.
Yep.
Wait, yeah. I mean, we want to go across that spectrum, right? And we want to look at our stats and go, we're getting a lot of views, but you're not getting a lot of business. Maybe we need more trust you.
Right.
Let's just do a little bit more educational. Well, you're getting business, but your views are low. Let's do some more know you.
Right.
Some funny, some trending, right?
Yeah. No,
strategy.
there's a strategy to it. So because a lot of times this is the fear, I think, with agents and businesses probably alike is, well, if I'm gonna spend this money, why can't I just do it myself? You know what I mean? And one is they won't do it. We already
Right.
know,
I'm like, please do it.
yeah, we already know that they're not gonna do it.
Right.
Right. And then secondly, it's like, well, it's just the shotgun method, right? I'm just gonna scatter everything everywhere. There's no
Right.
method to it. I'm
far
posting at
beyond that.
11 a.m. today and 5 tomorrow, and it's like, well, there's no
I mean, the
cadence to it.
truth is you could do it, right? I
Sure.
mean, we teach classes, I'll give it all away right here.
You could sell your own
do
house
it, right?
on your own too.
Exactly. Right. And it's just, but that's not okay. You're not, again, that's what I'm saying. You're not making money off of it. I mean, you're making $13, right? But this is not
Right.
your area of expertise. So why are you going to spend the hours it takes you that I can do in 5 minutes, right?
Right.
You know, and then again, we're going to bring the strategy and we're going to do this and that. So it's just that's not what you're good. It's like knowing where your strengths are.
Yeah.
Right. I want you out there selling houses, not worrying about,
Yeah.
coming up with content. I mean, it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
I used
Yeah.
to always use a dumb analogy because I owned fitness clubs for years, and I'd say, why would you just come into a fitness club and know how to do everything? I couldn't go in a dentist's office and fill my own tooth. Okay.
Right.
And that's a dumb
Right.
analogy, but it's true.
No, it's very true.
Trained to do that. We put hours and hours and hours in training and figuring out what works, what doesn't. We do this all the time, just like you sell houses all the time. That's what we do. That's how you become an expert, right? Is constantly just involved in that and learning from it. They don't have time for that. If you're selling houses all the time, you don't have time to be figuring out your social media. Could you throw on some videos? Yes, but also we talk about, I don't think we touched on today, but consistency.
Right.
Consistency is the key. And that's one thing we hear from a lot of our clients is I tried it, but I couldn't do it every day. And consistency is the key, knowing when your ideal audience is in there. So yeah, that is probably one of the hardest things, because if you're busy, if you're too busy to do it, then you don't have time to do it. If you're not busy, you need to be out there doing, shaking hands and kissing babies,
Right.
so that you get more houses. What is your time worth? Let the professionals do what they do best.
Yeah.
And then you get out there and do what you do best. So
Yeah. That's one of the things I did learn from GoGo. She said you have to figure out what your hourly rate is.
Yes.
That's where
I
we
love
get it
GoGo.
from,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
we follow GoGo.
Yeah.
Yep.
And once you figure out what your hourly rate is, you shouldn't do the ones that are below you anymore.
And she is such a proponent of put the team together, right?
Yes.
Put the team
Yes.
together, give everybody
Yeah.
right. And we're that part of the team.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And
And one thing you always say too is we don't want it to look like, let's say one of our clients, like we did it for them. We get so personalized that it looks like they did it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I don't want people to go, oh, you hired someone. No, it looks like
we
they
especially
did it.
don't want them to go, oh, you hired Real Leverage Solutions, right?
Right.
Because
Right.
I do want it to look organic and it's not everybody's got the keeping current matters, we all see it's the same thing. It's
Right.
not dialed down to you. It's not dialed to your audience. It's also not speaking to the ideal client, right? We want that for you. And although that we have several realtors and several lenders, their content is not the same because
Right.
they're not the same people.
Right. No, they're not. And it's crazy because I've had agents and people that I know that use businesses to do their social media, and I can totally tell it's not them. I
Right.
can totally tell it's not
Yes.
them doing it personally.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what we really focus on. I want them to go, hey, that's great, so and so, and not say, oh, did you yes, it looks like, could you do that? But we also, like she said, we do the bloopers, we do things like it looks like, hey, they're just very organic and just putting themselves out there and not being so polished.
Right. Right. No, look, it's hours up again.
I know. Can't we
But
keep going? Jim?
I know. I appreciate you guys coming on again too and kicking us off for the new year.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Real Leverage Solutions, guys. Find them wherever you find them, and Reels for Deals
Reels for Deals. Yeah.
is your community on Facebook.
Yep. So connect with us there, reach out. If you have a business that you'd like to do Reels at, reach out.
Yeah.
We're always looking for a spot, and we will tag the business and I have some professionals come in about 10 to 12.
Okay. We might have to come back into the Royal Oath office here and see what we can do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, all right, guys, I appreciate the time again this week. Check us out on YouTube. You can find the Elite Edge Network, eliteedgenetwork.com. You can find us, again, wherever you find your podcast, and like and subscribe and hit those buttons for us. So, again, I thank you guys for coming in. I appreciate everybody jumping in the Breakfast Club on, and we'll see you guys next week.